she told me that I have a media voice, like a perfect radio voice. Like, you're the first person to tell me that. I've been doing this for 5 years.
You're going to take over Shaggy job when he retires.
Nah, it's enough room for everybody. We the underground. He's more like the, he's the mainstream, I guess, you know?
True.
Did he ever reach out to you?
Yeah,
About the set?
Oh, no, I haven't heard from him yet for that.
Okay.
Yeah, but he saw me perform last year, and that's when he was like, oh my gosh, like, you're so amazing. And then he came to one of my events at Grain recently, maybe like 2 months ago. But we're definitely in connection.
Yeah, I think he told me that you have been on Z104, right?
Yeah,
I think you and Gabe were.
Well, it was me and Amir last year for our event.
Who's Amir?
Amir Driver. He's a rapper out here. Made in Norfolk brand. Yeah, so we had an event on 24th Street stage, and it was produced by Odyssey and Z104. Yeah, so that's how I got linked with that opportunity, and then I met Shaggy for the first time, and yeah, we did that interview. So that was like my first like real official interview. Other than that, I've done like one podcast years ago, and now here.
What was that podcast?
That, oh my gosh, it was 2 hours of me rambling. That was someone I went to high school with, and it was early on in my career.
Are they still going with the pod?
It's still up there. I don't know if they're still going with it, but it's still on SoundCloud. It's so embarrassing, like, looking back at it. Yeah. Because I'm just like, Jaleesa, shut up. Like, what are you talking about?
It's weird, like, for the first time seeing yourself, like, on camera doing a podcast.
Oh, my gosh.
It just puts it in perspective in a weird way. Actually, I was talking about this with Alana, because I was on Hot 91 like a month ago. She had me up there.
I saw that.
But it's like, I was referencing this Queen Latifah interview that she did, and she was like, it was like the first movie that someone had put her in. It was like it changed her perspective on herself in a weird way. Can you try to actually find that interview? Type in Queen Latifah interview about first movie, maybe.
Because you get to see yourself.
Yeah, it's like you see yourself doing the thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's different. It's like when you're like envisioning it in your head is one thing, but then you see yourself doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like the visualization of it. It helps your visualization like go to the next level of seeing yourself doing this thing.
And help you improve in whatever it is too. Yeah.
But I mean, even when I watch my old episodes, a lot of times it's like feels cringy. It's like from like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
These last like 2-ish years, I feel like we've been on a run. I'm pretty like still proud about those episodes. I feel like they can stand the test of time, but no, Shaggy I feel like Shaggy's been on like a cool run these past few months. He's been showing like a lot of new people love.
Yeah.
Like he had us up there. He gave me this Shaggy skateboard signed by Pharrell.
What?
He just had this band on from Jersey. I forgot the guys' names. It was like these two white dudes from Jersey. Lil Twin and Mizzy Coke. He had them on Z104. He played their song up there. He contacted a bunch of people to like help them. Like I think he called like Timbaland, like Pharrell. Like
What?
I was just watching the interview clip earlier, but he's been showing love.
Yeah, no, we need that. We need to bridge the gap between the mainstream and the underground. So I feel like that's what's happening overall on the scene and in general in the world. You know, we're seeing that. Just
I feel like mainstream almost like doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And like what I mean by that is like mainstream was that thing that like majority of people consume, right? So if it could be like a TV show or music or like a news channel, but now there's so many things that exist. Like, is anything mainstream? No. Like everybody has their own thing they watch. I don't know if there's like one thing that everybody watches anymore. Yeah,
it's not. It's literally everything is just combined. Oops, sorry. Yes, everything is combined, I feel like, and people just tune into what they like. And, you know, you have small platforms, big platforms, but it's okay. It's just, you know, we're all tuned into everything, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like that's kind of like who I've become too as a DJ. Like I was always underground and now I'm like a little bit of both. And I'm like, wow, I never thought I would see myself kind of like mainstream, like certain events that I would play, like more like local bars and bars and clubs. through like Rockstar Agency, booking agency. They kind of want to hear that top 40 sound, but I like throw in other stuff too and make it cool. So it's like, dang, I never thought I would transition into that. And that's what's made me like, kind of what's made me a little more popular. And I always thought no, like I'm standing my ground. I want to have this underground sound and still be popular. But now I'm kind of just like fusing it all and realizing that it's a part of me. Like that's who I am.
Mixing the two.
Yeah, mixing the two. Especially like coming from a girl from Queens who listened to like, mainstream stuff like 50 Cent and Lloyd Banks. Like I grew up on that and Dipset. I'm a 91 baby, so yeah, the 90s hip hop and R&B. Like I listened to Hot 97 every day, so as a kid, and just had CDs. So coming to Norfolk and Virginia is where I kind of learned the underground stuff, and that's when I learned about house music, dance music, EDM, and I started kind of as a dance EDM DJ and fused it with soca music because I'm Caribbean, and now it's just like I'm fusing it all together, and it's so much fun.
When did you move? So you're born in New York?
Mm-hmm.
When did you come to Virginia?
Queens. I came here when I was 10 in 2000, like 99, 2000, and I grew up in Hampton, and then I went to ODU in 2009. So that's when 2009 I feel like is when like JoFroxi was born, because that's when I found like the artist side of me. I didn't know it was there, especially like the musician side. I always drew, like as a kid, I would draw like Powerpuff Girls and stuff and just doodle. But like the painter, photographer, like DJ side of me, like that's when that started developing. Hanging out with Gabe and Rebel Lee, like
This
in my
is
early,
in college.
Yeah, in college. I was like, I don't like school. Fuck school. Like they're doing cool stuff. So I just got thrown into that world, and just that's where I was like born.
Just to go back to what you were saying earlier, you mentioned Rockstar Booking Agency. I wrote down actually a tweet that you had
Oh yeah.
posted about them. If you want to pull that up, Karen.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You were like, if anyone is interested in working with Rockstar Booking Agency, let me know. It's not. But what I thought was interesting is you said it's not the cool gigs, but you can work a variety of bars, clubs, and restaurants. Solo 4-hour sets that pay way more than minimum wage.
Yeah.
What do you mean by it's not the cool gigs?
It's not like the gigs that our friends are throwing that's like underground, or just where, like it's a quick 1 hour set where you could just like play your best tracks. It's just like going to work, I feel like. It's like when I say it's more than minimum wage, it's not $15 an hour. It might be $75 to $100 an hour. But you're it's pretty laid back. It's not like anything where it's a club where you have to like get people hype, and you're kind of background music, but you still like have people dancing on the dance floor too if they want to. So
I guess that would be like those more mainstream gigs.
yeah, it's like a more mainstream, and I never thought I would be here, but it's just something that came to me, and I took it. And it was during a time where I was transitioning from working my everyday job as an operations assistant at Grow, and I knew that I wanted to DJ full-time, no matter if it was just cool gigs or weddings or bars and clubs. Like, I like doing a variety of it all. Festivals, tours, retail. Like, I DJ'd at, where was it? Not the Adidas store. I think H&M or something like that. Like retail, you're just like playing background music. Like it's cool, and it's perfect for me for where I'm at right now as a mom. So obviously, like a lot of us, we want to become these bigger DJs who, you have your solid brand and you're traveling the world as somebody's tour DJ, or you're just booking your own gigs, or you're like selection type of DJ. Like I've always wanted to be that, but not that I'm limiting myself, but this is just where I'm at right now as a single mom with a toddler.
What do you mean by like the selection gigs?
Well, like a DJ like that, like you're building your own brand, and you're getting booked for like for like something in the water, for instance, like a festival, like you're getting booked as your own entity, like an artist, like Kate Shinada, for example.
For sure.
So I don't know if that was a good analogy, but
No, I get. I mean, well, I guess what is
nervous.
the other side of that? If you're not, I mean, I figured that's how all DJ bookings worked.
Yeah,
You're getting
I
booked
guess.
as like you're getting booked for you, and you're kind of like a
then,
promoter as well.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's so many different lanes. Like you're kind of like this rock star shit. Oh gosh, it's more like a mobile. You're a mobile DJ in a sense. Like I feel like I definitely get booked for like who I am, but there's some people who just play top 40 and they just stand there and push buttons and just DJ. You know, like treat it like a job. But for me, I'm both. Like it's my job, but I'm also a brand as well. So I just do like a variety of different types of gigs. Just, you know, because it's what I love to do. And I feel like just no matter what, like I want to pour my energy into it, whether it's low paying or high paying. Like I've been on tour and everything too. Like I just love like seeing where I can contribute my energy to and just experience different things, different people, different promoters, different venues. It's like a tour to me. It's like I feel like I'm on a local tour and I'm just like having fun with just gaining knowledge, insight, even the crowds, like different types of people. It's I find the beauty in everything. Some people don't want to do certain things like that, but for me, like I find a way that it could benefit me.
Well, I mean, especially if you're trying to make a living off doing this, probably at this point, at least in our scene, there's not enough quote unquote cool gigs to make a living on.
Yeah, you can't.
I mean, there's like, stuff is happening for the most part every weekend, but you can't survive just by doing like a show
literally,
on a weekend, right?
I thought I could, and then I was like, whoa, I need a job.
Yeah.
Or to throw my own events or something, or to go back and live with my parents because 2 years ago, I was living with my parents, commuting from here, Newport News. And
to New York?
No, Newport News to Norfolk.
Okay.
Yeah, my parents live here, and that's when my daughter was just born. So I was like DJing at Thank You every weekend, getting like booked at Selden Market, doing baby showers, weddings, like a little bit of everything. Not with Rockstar, but like the cool gigs, like our friends' gigs. And it was fun, and it was just enough, you know, that I needed because I didn't have rent at the time. But, you know, I'm back on my own again, and it's like I can't survive off of that. I can't really, I can't save. I can't, you know, like I want to buy a house one day and shit like that. So it's just not sustainable. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people
treat it as on the side because that's all it can pay. Like this area can't pay a lot. They don't pay a lot.
Even throwing your own gigs is kind of hard to make it. I feel like
definitely.
but even going back to like the mainstream versus underground conversation, I was just talking about this with Baby Oil like last week, and he kind of put it in perspective for me in a way that I didn't really think about it, because we were talking about a convo that he had on this other podcast, 18 podcast, and they were talking about how there's like mainstream stuff versus underground stuff in the city, and I'm like, well, isn't everything underground? Because like in my eyes, mainstream is like nationwide.
True.
Right. But like even the way you put it, that's kind of what he said. It's like these clubs that are like, the way I put it is like it's places or venues where it's the general public that goes there versus like where the creative crowd goes.
Yeah.
That's what I would consider mainstream versus underground.
That's it right there. Mainstream versus underground. It's like general public and creative. That's a good way to put it.
But technically it's still all underground in the country.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can just kind of, do you want to tell us a bit more about Rockstar Booking Agency? Like, who runs that? Like, how long have you been working with them?
I don't know. I don't rep them at all in any kind of way. You know, it's just kind of like something that fell in my lap. But
it's strictly DJ gigs that they do.
It's been like a year now, off and on a lot in the early on in the last part of the year. More consistently now. They've opened up a lot of like just there's more opportunities, so they kind of just like send you an offer and you accept it or deny it. Like it's easy, you know. It's like you don't have to go out and do that work for yourself. So they're like your booking agent. So it's like they'll give you the price, the amount of commission you pay, and they'll give you the venue, what time you need to be there, how long the gig is, if you need to bring lights or sound, because that's something that not all bars, restaurants, and clubs have. So yeah, like if you want to be that mobile DJ, then you would want to invest in sound and lights because there's more opportunity for that. I've done a lot of baby showers and weddings in the past year, and it's making me realize, like, okay, there's way more money in private parties, and
no,
I need to
definitely.
get more equipment.
I saw that you have actually 3 weddings booked for this year.
Yeah, I'm so excited because I love it.
And one hand, I know that like weddings pay a lot, but then I also see like my friends on Facebook and like people that do weddings, like they want to undervalue the DJ and really the photographer too. Because I've seen a lot of people like, yo, we need a photographer for the wedding, but they're just like trying to hire somebody from the city and they don't want to pay like that. I'm like, what do you expect? What kind of quality do you expect?
Exactly.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, it's real, and I'm grateful that a lot of people see my value, and it's like everyday people who follow me or word of mouth who are like, they trust me that this is my rate, this is my price, and I'm still pretty affordable. Like a lot of people think I'm out of this world. I would like to be. I provide that quality, but
probably also depends on the venue or the show.
Like I know where I'm at the end of the day, and I feel like I haven't like broke through that ozone layer yet. So it's only a matter of time. Like, catch me while you can, like while I'm affordable, because when I'm out, if that ever happens, I'm not gonna say if, I'm gonna say when, then I'm gone. But I like being able to contribute to the community. I like being on the ground. Like that's the thing about me is like, tour was fun, but I liked being on the floor with the people, partying with the people, and just having fun. It just felt too like stush, like in Trinidadian language. It was too like social, like uppity. Everybody feels like they're cool, and like backstage, VIP backstage, like that was boring to me. Like,
are you talking about the At What Cost tour?
Well, yeah, but like tour in general, like if you're on a major tour, like you're just around like the cool people. Like I want to be in the crowd with the people, like talking and having fun, enjoying the show. But that tour was amazing. That was like...
Well, which tour are you referring to?
At What Cost tour.
But, okay. Yeah. Is there another tour that you've been on, or?
No.
Okay, yeah. Because I saw that on your page. So you were on the At What Cost tour, that was GoldLink's tour, right?
Yeah, it was GoldLink's
tour. And I think,
tour.
like Masego just made an appearance there, or was he, like, on the tour with him?
He was on the tour. He was the opening set for every city. So then he reached out to me to be his DJ for the tour. So, yeah.
This was 2017.
2017.
Actually, I want to get to this. So let's back up a little bit. So you born in New York, in Queens, which I think is the birthplace of hip hop. I think last time we said the Bronx, which I think is it the Bronx?
Yeah.
I might have said Queens last time then, but I think it is the Bronx.
Queens is like right there.
I stayed the weekend in Queens one time at my friend's grandma's house, right off Hollis. On Jamaica Ave.
Word. Yeah, that's
so
it right
I was out there. But so you come to Virginia like when you're like 10. Mm-hmm. It's interesting that JoFroxi was born and like your creative stuff like in college. Mm-hmm. I always say like I feel like the narrative, at least for when I was coming up, was like if you don't figure out what you're doing by like high school, like after high school is over for you as far as following your dreams. So you start this in college, you're painting, you're DJing. I saw you had a post that you said Flashback Friday. It was like the most litty year of my life was 2015. This was the year I experienced Trinidad Carnival for the first time.
Yeah.
Did you go on tour with Drum and Daff? Was that what was happening that year?
No, I didn't go on tour with them, but I opened their first stop of their tour. That was here in Virginia, not Virginia Beach, Norfolk at Granby Theater.
Okay.
But we were all part of like the same crew, and we all felt like everything just bubbling and rising and like, oh my gosh, we're about to take off. But that was the year that I also started DJing. So from there, I started DJing in January. My first gig was New Year's, and then by February, March, Charlie and Carrie Ann was booking me for work release, like me and Dot.
Wait, so that was 2015? So I thought you said it was 2009.
That was when you started. Well, 2009 was when I started like taking art classes and just going out observing. Like I was like Gabe's little shadow and just going around to their gigs while they're doing their thing. But end of 2014, Gabe taught me how to DJ, and then 2015 was when I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do this. Like, fuck photography, painting, too much work. Nah, like, I like this. Like, this is cool. And once Work Release opened, that was like our home. That was us, like all of us as a collective. And we ran that shit. And we had the whole city lit. And then Drum and Daft took off and they went on tour. So we were kind of like priming the area. And it just felt like an epic time. Like there was no, like I feel like we're getting back to that feeling of like it's another Renaissance time period, I feel like.
A golden age.
Yeah, like another golden age, because we're remembering those times that we want to like continue to develop this area and bring different things to the scene. So yeah, we had Parlo and Granby, we had Work Release, and there wasn't any other like cool spots like for creatives where we could just be who we wanted to be. And it was amazing. It was like I still wish it was still here. And that's why when they did the Social Supply set at Commune, which was Work Release, yeah. I cried. Like I was like, oh my gosh, this is where we were born. Like it was just so magical. It was like just being in that space. It was just so nostalgic. It was like, wow, this is where like I would be mixing a soca song with a Juvenile song, and then like fucking Diplo mixed together, crowd surfing. And then our friend Opal, she was rapping. She just started rapping, and then there's art everywhere. So it's like you got trap niggas coming through, and then you got like hipster white girls coming through, and it's just a blend of like everybody that just felt so beautiful, and everybody just meshed, and there was no drama, no problems, no fights, nothing. Hundreds of people and police were outside. They had the police outside, but nothing ever happened. So everybody just had a genuinely good time, and it was a beautiful thing for the city. So,
yeah, we've had a few people on this show that have been around since those days, like talking about just how special Work Release was. Yeah. We've had Carrie Ann on. She kind of, it's funny because Carrie Ann actually, not even on the show. Like I was at a bar one time, I think it was Vinny's open mic, and she literally ran me through the whole history of Work Release, like at this bar, just like sitting at the table.
I gotta see. Oh, this was just in conversation.
Yeah, this was just in conversation before she came on the show. So she was just kind of just talking at the bar and shit. Then she came on the show. We had like a really great episode. We kind of went more into it, but I think Work Release was only around for like 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So it's only pretty short-lived. Like I feel like even like, well, these days we have venues that last longer. Like Trap Tass's been doing their thing at Crocs for a while. People been doing stuff at Elevation now for a couple years. There is the ones that closed down, like what's the one with the S? A Slow Dive. Thank you, bars closed.
Yeah.
So there was a few short-lived ones that are from this era. I guess I'm interested to hear what you. So you said the scene is starting to feel like it's getting back to that golden age.
Yeah,
to me, it's cool because a lot of the people that are kind of the biggest contributors to where the scene is now, they were around even in those days.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that can kind of give us the best perspective on like if our scene has grown. Are we getting stagnant? Sure. Are we doing like what are we doing better these days than before? Like are there some things that we can maybe still improve on?
Yeah, no, it's great. Like I can vouch and say like it's grown beautifully. And that was one of my reasons for leaving and going back to New York, because I felt like nothing lasts. Like I guess I had to realize like this is a military town and people are in and out, but why doesn't anything last? Like why do venues keep getting shut down? And I felt like New York maybe offered more of that stability. So I moved to New York, obviously for other reasons too, like, to pursue my dreams, but also for family, but because I still have family out there. But then I started like following around, and I had a mentor, this guy named Ani. He reminded me of me. He's an entrepreneur, but he's also an artist. So he started as an artist, and then he worked his way up to not worked his way up, but kind of pivoted to entrepreneurship, starting a creative agency, and then starting a tea shop, or it's called Kolkata Chai. Basically, it's a chai shop, and they're Indian. These two Indian guys, Ayan and Ani, and they were like the biggest inspirations for me around that time. So in my mind, I felt like there's other things I need to learn, because I was such a creative, like in La La Land, pretty much, like very idealistic, very dreamy, very much so a dreamer, and I was lacking like stability and structure and discipline and just learning about business and finance. And I was so drawn to them because I feel like that's the other side of things that they had, that I didn't have within myself, that I needed to learn from in order to truly thrive and capitalize as a creative. So obviously we have Dodie here. Like I realized like, oh my gosh, there's people around me out here who also represent that. So I started to feel like, well, I think I want to get more into business and maybe even real estate investing or something like that, because shit, I want to buy a venue. Like I want to like own a building and make sure that it lasts and it thrives. And I literally just started tapping into like that business side of me that I never knew existed, that I started to fall in love with, because I realized that I'm very big on like operations and how things move behind the scenes, but I'm also creative. So I kind of merged it and then just brought it back here, like just came back here and realized like I don't have to be a real estate investor. Like I just need to continue doing what I'm doing, because there was a time where I felt like, see, I'm rambling now. I'm just
No, I'm following you. This is great. Please continue.
It's so much. It's just like, I don't know. Like I just felt like, you know, because you come to New York and you're like, man, there's so much competition. Everybody's amazing. Like every event I went to, I was like, oh my gosh, like who am I? Like I'm not.
But
I'm just gonna shrink myself.
Was it like a jaded energy though?
It was jaded meaning like how?
Like too cool.
Yeah.
Too cool to have fun.
It was like
kind of what you like, what you refer to as the cool people on stage at the tour.
They were cool, and they were also, some of them, I met some people who were really nice and like open to someone new being on the scene, but they were also kind of mean. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, why are you in my territory? Or some people looked at me like, why did you come off tour and come back here? I'm just like, because I want to be in the community. I want to be on the ground. Like I'm not just doing this to like take food out your mouth. Like we can all eat. And I felt like I just want to create. I just want to express myself. I'm big on self-expression. So it was weird. I was like, I want to go back home where we're like super creative. We're way more creative here. Like they're good, don't get me wrong, but like the energy I brought there, they was like, holy shit. But I still doubted myself, and I felt like I need to get better. Like I need to get better. Something's off. Like why am I not reaching those heights that I need to reach? You know, like I was only like 2-3 years in. And I found a mentor, this guy named Freeze. He's like big in the soca dancehall community, Caribbean community. And I realized like maybe I need to get back to my roots. Maybe I need some help with something. And he kind of taught me that like the foundational things, like one session, one night, just hanging with the fellas. And he taught me how to like organize my library, how to mix better, what cue points to mix on, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like you mix on ones. Like it was the shit that I did not know, because like
Gabe didn't teach you that.
Gabe didn't teach me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Gabe trying to keep this sauce
showed
for
me
himself.
real quick like how to blend 2 songs, and then it was just like, all right, I just started fucking with it on my own. So it wasn't like a real mentorship.
And
Gabe is kind of like all over the place, you know.
Yeah, it's hard to track that boy down sometimes. No, I also resonate with just being a creative and an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been dabbling in creative stuff and entrepreneurship like my whole life, just through different ventures, and it's like individually getting better at both things, like separately, like and in certain periods I'm only doing one at a time.
Yeah,
or then
literally.
I might do the other one. But then I find myself like after like over time it just like ends up merging into one thing. So it's like it is a role. You have to know how to play both roles, wear both hats. Not everybody can. A lot of artists either they can't or they just don't want to. Like I just want to make my music, and that's
okay.
it. That's why you hire a team, you hire a label, and that's also why I think record labels are kind of slept on and undervalued in today's time. Everybody's like, yo, fuck the record labels. But like if you really think about all the things that go into making this a striving business, like outside of the music, not everybody can do that. You need that team of people that just focus on that.
Yep.
Okay,
That's
so
why you see people like Trippie Redd, I think it's him, who got audited and lost, like, got so much money taken because they're not doing their taxes.
You got to get the accountants.
They just spending and they don't care.
But also maybe don't get an accountant from the label or a lawyer from the label. Maybe get a third party.
Somebody you know, even.
But so it sounds like you've also had a few different mentors that you've learned from, like the Indian guys.
Yeah.
This guy that taught you the basics like of DJing.
And then entrepreneur, business side. And then from there, I'm a very, like, do-it-myself type of person. Like, I'm kind of not that I'm anti-social. Like, y'all see me, I'm very bubbly and social, but I'm also very, like, I like to be to myself and study and analyze and listen to podcasts, listen to documentaries, just teach myself things and just absorb information. So right now, like, I'm big on Earn Your Leisure, their YouTube channel, or just their whole platform in general, because it's so intellectually stimulating for me, and I feel like that's where I'm headed as I'm getting older. It's like maybe I do really want to be an investor one day, and like not just have a business or not just have a 9-to-5. Like, I want to be on the other side of the quadrant. Like, I want to be a business owner and investor. So they're like sharpening my mind to start thinking like that, because how long, how sustainable is this unless you're amazing and you have the luxury to completely dedicate yourself as an artist? Like, for those people who want to just be an artist, that's fine. But you got to know who you are. And I feel like I'm a very take charge type of person. I like to know everything, all the details. And I'm not just a creative. Like, I feel like I can even be an artist manager. Like, I've even thought about doing that. So I just manage myself. I'm just like merging that and fueling my businesses. Because I also have a business with my family. And wherever else it takes me, like,
is that
I'm
the
open
Truth
to it.
Peace Love?
Truth Peace Love is mine. And then TOC Crew, that's a brand that me and my family have been building over the years. We throw Caribbean parties, and I'm like the ops person with that too. So it was like my mom and them who started just having parties like 10 years ago or longer than that. And me and my brother kind of took over, and we just been like scaling it. And we have so much fun. Like, he does the marketing, I do operations, and together we're like a force. Like, we be like, Ma, you don't need to do nothing.
Oh, is that the show that's like
the
pinned
carnival
on your page right now? The carnival. Okay,
yep.
I was wondering what that was. That's, I think,
There's
March.
so many sides of me.
That is in March. I wrote it down. That one is March 28th.
March 28th, yeah.
The carnival. How do you say that? Is it Tabanka?
Tabanka.
Mm-hmm. So your Truth Peace Love brand, so you sell like juices and teas and sea moss gel?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that one?
I've been doing that since 2020, since COVID hit. I feel like that got birthed from me just realizing, like, okay, like, eventually I do want to settle down. I don't want a set at 2 a.m. in Brooklyn. Like, I'm not built for this life. I got tired. I was falling asleep on the train. And I was like, I need something, like, I need a business, like a product outside of myself for the future when I do settle down and I have kids, and I can't be out here working like that. So then I was like making sea moss gel. I was really following Dr. Sebi really heavy around that time. And my mom, she was like, why don't you sell it? I was like, what? So like I just started testing, like shipping it back and forth to Virginia. And then until I got it down to where it was, at first it was like taking like $33 to ship. Then I got it down to like 15, then 10 or 8, and like having to buy like ice packs and different things. Like I just sat there and I just figured it out. And then it grew into something bigger. Like I started shipping all over the United States. Like my friends in California, people in Texas, people everywhere, but mostly in Virginia. So I kind of knew I would eventually end up back here. But I just needed something else that was a product outside of me, because my energy is not unlimited. And I feel like maybe I can pour my energy into these products and send them to people so they can experience, not to sound like that, but like where I was, like I felt like I was just like God level. Like I was so pure. Like I've cleansed myself so much from the past few years and really just like poured so much self-love into me that I wanted other people to experience that and consume the things that I were consuming to make myself feel better, because this DJ world can be very toxic. Like I'm drinking every weekend. Like I limit myself now, but back then in 2015, I was like lit every like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every week, even drinking throughout the weekday. And it's exhausting. Like I was doing drugs too. And it was not sustainable at all. And I knew I want to have a family one day. Like I want kids one day. So I need to like tighten up. And I just cleansed. I became vegan. And then 2020, I started Truth Peace Love. And it's kind of on the back burner right now. But I do want to revive it. And I do want to like pour more energy into that. But as of right now, like DJing is, it brings me the most money to like take care of me and my daughter. And I'm working towards pivoting to where I could like do Truth Peace Love, like it's like a day job, like during the week, and then DJing is like on the weekends type thing. So
yeah,
figuring it out.
You have a daughter. So you homeschool your daughter?
I am now, yeah.
How's that going?
This past week, it has its challenges, but it's so much fun. I think the structure part, like getting her to like stick to that same structure as like her daycare, is a challenging part, but it's great. She's 3.
Okay.
I love being in control of like what she eats, and just like she's like me. She likes to be home. She likes to have fun. We like paint together. We dance. We sing together. Like I include her in my world too. I don't really separate her from anything that I do. Like I'll have her making tea blends with me, mixing it up, making pancakes with
you gotta give her a cut. I mean, out here doing was it child labor, free child labor. She's just working for free.
No,
she gonna see this episode when she gets older.
paid
Mom, you had me just
in love.
That's crazy. That's not enough.
With hugs, that's all she wants, to put her hands in my tatas.
Do you plan on like homeschooling her forever or?
No, because I'm a DJ. Like I can't.
You're not DJing during the day though.
I know, but like I already feel like I'm Peter Parker and Spider-Man in one. And
I saw you tweet that as well.
I don't know.
I really just be looking at people's Twitter. Like I just get a lot of questions from there. Because Twitter is just like you're just like talking to yourself, really, just saying like what's on your mind.
Oh my gosh, y'all would have been like, this girl's a weirdo.
There's some DJ set. Well, there's a transition by this girl going viral on Twitter right now. Have you seen that?
About that, I saw it today.
People are like conflicted. Is it good? Is it bad? But then it's like, bro, everybody. This really just brings to the forefront how people are followers.
Yeah,
it's like somebody will do something. And then before you like decide how you feel about it, you go look at the comments, see how everybody else feels about it.
Yeah. And
it's just like join the herd.
Oh my god.
Like, bro, if you like something, enjoy it. Like it. Like it doesn't matter if no one else likes it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, on the contrary, like I'd rather like nobody else like what I'm liking. I want to be the first person to like this or like tell other people how cool this is. Like that they don't know about it or like.
No facts.
Pull this setup real quick. Pull the transition. Go to my Twitter. Go to my replies because I had said something. That girl DJ Bree Mafia. She said something about it. I'm actually going to Maryland to do a conversation with her next weekend.
Oh word.
Do you know who
I've
that
heard
is?
Of her, yeah. I never met her though.
Yeah, go to my replies.
What does she have to say about it?
I think. Let me see. I forgot what she said. Go down. It's the one where I was like, "Is it that one?"
Oh yeah, right there.
Click on that. Go to like the original post. That might not even be the original. That was something that Baby Oil said.
Oh gosh. Okay, I see. Like she's probably stirring up a lot of controversy.
Just search this transition on Twitter.
This transition?
That was like
it's really going viral like that? Like
that's what was the name of the thing. There you go. It is that one. Yeah, play that. It was fire though. I liked it. Honestly, she should have dropped it harder because I thought it was about to drop.
Yeah, it was just kind of like boom.
Because everybody started getting hyped. Like if she would have dropped it right there, it would have went crazy. Mm-hmm. Like right here. Then she brought it back.
But clearly, like she had the shit rocking the whole time for it to get to that point.
Yeah, Baby Oil went and said he like watched the whole set and that she's actually fire.
Yeah, I saw that.
But this is just an example of people just hopping on the bandwagon. Like it's I don't know. It's burnt out, bro. Like, bro, just fucking enjoy life, man. Like,
literally, like.
And honestly, shit that I don't like, I don't even give my attention to it. Like, why would I want to give my energy to something I don't like and tell other people how much I don't like it? Like,
Because they're haters. Like, they're haters. And it's like, I feel like some people don't like the fact that two different worlds are mixing. Like, people talking about hipster Norfolk shit, like, that's not the real Norfolk. And it's like, it's okay to blend different elements that might not work together, and it just works. Like, we want different shit. Nobody wants to just hear the same shit all the time. Like, I get it. Like, there's too many mashups. There's too many edits right now. And they're not all good. But some of them are actually good. Some people are really making original shit. Like, I feel like Dav shit is original. Vegas shit is original. Or the shit that they find is original. You know, it's like we downloading these remixes that are from, like, real producers and DJs who know what they're doing. And it's original. So some of it is trash, yes. And I feel like your whole set don't need to be edits. And that's why I made my Social Supply set that I did the other day not edits. Because
1 year anniversary?
When everybody's going left, I'm going right. I'm going to, like, play a lot of original tracks and then mix in my culture. Like, I'm always going to mix in my culture where I come from, whether that's Queens, whether that's Trinidad and Tobago, whether that's Norfolk. Like, I'm going to mix it up because that's me. I'm a melting pot. Like, I'm like New York City. Like, it's a lot of different elements to me, and that's okay. Some people might not embrace it, and that's okay. Like, stay where you at. That's how I feel.
I think also mashing different cultures and including all types of people.
My daughter is mixed. My daughter is way more mixed than me.
What is she mixed with?
I don't even know where her daddy mixed with, but he's like Pharrell. He's Asian and black, and he got, like, you could tell he got some Native American in him. Her eyes are slanted, but he's like light skinned like me, or like kind of like Pharrell. But then I have Caribbean, I have Indian and African in me, and then my dad has French and Spanish. So we're literally like every fucking continent.
But I was gonna say, like, mixing, like, even mashing different sounds, but also incorporating all different types of people. I think that's the way to go, and that's, like we said earlier, like, why don't things last? I think ultimately you can box yourself in by just, like, even just going, like, just catering to one demographic or trying to get too, like, hyper focused on one thing
like that.
But, like, that's how, like, that's why Peabody just lasts for fucking 20, 30 years.
True.
Like, that's top 40 pretty much. Like, everybody goes there. You want to, as a business, you want to pretty much make your stuff feel welcoming to all people. Mm-hmm. And I mean, some people might not like it, and that's okay.
Yeah, if you don't want to travel the world, that's okay. Like, you don't have to. And I haven't even touched Europe and Africa. Like, I almost did, like, with Masego, but I've at least touched other sides of the world, like California, Canada, fucking, like, Idaho and shit, and Missouri. And just me being me and playing the variety of music that I played, they really fucked with me. And that's what shows, like, in order to, if you want a worldly sound, like, if you want to be an international, you don't have to be, but if you want to be an international DJ, like, you're going to have to broaden, like, the types of music that you play. And that's what that guy Freeze was teaching me. Was he saw me, he wanted me to be an international soca DJ. And I knew, like, I love soca, but that's too, it's too, what's the word? Like, it's too narrowed down for me. Like, I want to go back home to Norfolk and play everything. Like, that's just where I come from, how I grew. I'm an artist. Like, I want to play different things. I want to mix and match. I'm like Diplo in a sense, where it's like you might play the Caribbean stuff, but then you mix it in with EDM. That's how I started. So I didn't want to be boxed in like that. Of course, I love the soca scene. It literally gives me energy, but I want to do other shit too. I don't want to be just labeled as an international soca DJ. And you can. Some people do. And when you shoot, like, to me, I feel like you have to shoot at a target and go in that direction. Like, my dad used to tell me when I was confused, he's like, you're like a kid in a candy store. You want so many different things. And if you don't shoot at a target, you're not going to go anywhere. And that's why I was stuck, because I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And you can, but you have to, like, master one thing, do it and make it, master the other thing, and then, you know, you gotta you got to have like a target.
That's most people's biggest setback. Either
Yeah.
they don't know which direction to go in, or they like assume everything has to be perfect from day one.
Yeah,
so it's
and they
like
don't even
they'll like
start.
make something, but like feel like it's not good enough, so they never drop it,
Yeah.
and then like they never do anything.
I always put my mixes out there. They're trash now. I deleted them, but at least like I was still like doing it. And for me, like my biggest challenge right now is emceeing. I have this soft voice, and but I'm
like
still,
talking on the mic. That's one thing I noticed. Like
Still
many
pushing
DJs out here
myself
don't talk on
to
the mic.
try
Like I
it.
think Gabe does, and
a little bit.
maybe just Gabe. He'll do like the oh yeah thing. But like for the
Yeah.
most part, like I think our DJs out here don't talk on the mic.
And we don't need to. Like we speak for ourselves, but like when I'm in the soca community,
They want to hear you talk that shit.
they do. And I'm realizing that until I get there, like I'll still talk my shit, but I need a real MC with me because we'll be like amazing together. I could
Well,
just
that's
run it.
hip hop. That's the
I could
origins
just run
of
it.
hip
I
hop.
could focus on what my strength is because,
Yeah.
like, for me, like, I might not be a big talker, but like even when I was on tour, I'll come out from behind the booth. I'll say one or two things, hype them up, and then I'll start dancing. Like, I'll start twerking, like, or just like whining. Like, that's just my
Just dancing
thing.
out of nervousness because you don't
Yeah.
know what else to say. Just
No,
start
like, I
start
just,
dancing.
I wanted to hype them up and just show,
Yeah.
show them my culture. Like, I always felt like I wanted to be a rapper or artist, but I hid behind the booth. So that was me just like being me. And then you started seeing, like, me and Shaggy talked about this, but you started seeing like more female DJs doing that. And it makes it more exciting because we're not just DJs, we're entertainers. And it's fun to me. Like, I would crowd surf. You see me like jumping in the crowd. Like, it's just exciting. It's entertainment. And I can't just stay still behind a booth, locked up in a tower.
Crowd surfing seems
It's
fun.
so boring.
It looks really cool, but honestly, I was always like, I don't know if I'd ever crowd surf. It just feels like you just asking to get your eye poked out or something. Like, you know what? Like, I'm good.
If you're 115 pounds,
Somebody
you
get a
can do
little
it.
too close to your butt. They just pick you up from your butt. Yo, matter of fact, pull up the plane crash. The recent plane crash. The plane was upside down because this stewardess, what's her name? What's the people on the plane's name? The stewardess.
I think so. Or
This
the
plane
flight
stewardess
attendants.
was wilding. She was grabbing people's like interior of their ass,
Just like,
pushing them out. Go to the video. Just type in upside down plane crash phone video. There's a video of like a survivor from this plane. He's like going out the plane, and you see him recording the person ahead of him. And the stewardess just like went like knuckle deep in this lady's ass.
Oh
Like,
my
help. I mean, shout out to her because she was
gosh.
helping, and like it was a
'Cause you
spur of the
tryna
moment
save
thing. I
them.
don't think she was like trying to grab ass like that.
yeah.
But it was fun. Can you find it? Just type in. Let me see that.
I don't
Video
think,
shows
I can't
moment,
even
plane
remember,
crash landing.
like,
No, type in upside down
I
plane
hope
crash
nobody
phone
grabbed
video.
anything while I crowd surfed. I know my wallet got lost in
Oh yeah,
what
you
was
probably don't
this?
want to have your wallet on you while you're
Yeah,
crowd
I
surfing?
had my dumbass used to have this like the wallet that sticks to your phone.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I would
I'm good on
only
that.
walk around with like 2 cards. I never liked having a purse,
Type in
and
passenger
I
video.
lost it on tour.
Upside down plane crash passenger video.
But they found it for me though. They were so
wallet?
sweet. They were like, "We got your wallet, JoFroxi." I was like, "Thank you."
Let me
It's
see
so
this.
crazy.
This might be it. You should have just YouTubed it, but it's cool. It won't show us this ad. I know. You should have Twitter it. Twitter it, bro. We're going X. That's the best place to find the most up-to-date news. Type in upside down
Low
plane
key.
crash passenger.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's that. This one he already left.
And Delta is my favorite too. I ain't going nowhere this year.
This isn't that. He was inside the plane. Damn, they might have took it down. That's crazy. Well, never mind. Don't worry about it. But it happened.
Damn.
It happened. What if I just dreamt about it? It didn't even happen.
I be
I'm just
feeling
dreaming
like
about
that
ass.
when I gotta
No, it's this
buckle
one, I
my
think.
daughter in
This
the
one,
car seat.
Yeah, here we go. Is that lady upside down? Oh, here we go. Look, go back.
No, she's
Go back. One more. Hold up. Look. Bro, wait. Zoom in on
They
that.
literally palming her ass.
Look. But look, it went even deeper. Play it. You gotta. I was like, bro. I can get out the fucking plane by myself. Nah. I was like, ma'am, relax.
Yo,
she wasted no time. She's like, ain't
that's a
nobody
girl.
gonna see this. She got a full cup of ass.
Cup. You did not have to touch. Nah, I'll be like, you violent.
Right there. That's the shot. Shout out to her, man. She was doing her job.
She got a whole
very well.
palm.
But yeah, man, I don't know what's been up with these plane crashes. Apparently,
that's what Daff would do. He would just.
Yeah, Daff be tweeting the funny shit. He was like, he said what'd he tweet? He was like,
today.
He didn't say my significant other. He said
situation.
My situationship went out of town, so I'm like at her house or something like that. I don't fucking know, man. That's funny. You see the video when he was like beat me up for the promo?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I'm scared of him.
Okay, so you moved from New York. Mm-hmm. Gabe teaches you how to DJ, like 2014. Well, first of all, you're like a consumer of the scene for like 5 years. You're just like a fan. You're just experiencing it like a lot of us are.
I was shooting some of the events too.
Shooting the events, doing photography, painting. Gabe teaches you how to DJ. You're like, you know what? This is my thing now. Mm-hmm. He doesn't even teach you all the sauce. First of all, I gotta talk to Gabe about that because that's crazy. Then 2015, you started getting booked at work release. You do this show with Drum and Daff in Norfolk. What venue was that at?
That was the Granby Theater. That was
Granby
the Christmas.
And I'm just assuming you're just working around the city. Mm-hmm. Then you go on this tour with GoldLink and Masego, 2017. Mm-hmm. That's the At What Cost tour.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe touch on just like your experience with that tour, and maybe you're seeing Masego just be on the rise. Because I wasn't really too hip on Masego. Like, I just kind of found out about him like when he already blew up. Mm-hmm. But I know a few people like, Scoozy?
Yeah, I know him.
Scoozy knew him from back in the day, so I've heard stuff from Scoozy and just a few people that have known him since like back in the day.
Yeah, he used to be on
maybe
Granby
touch
Street.
on his rise.
Just playing, what was it, a sax? I almost called it a trumpet.
Saxophone, yeah.
Sasha, the saxophone. He would be on Granby Street just like playing. And we went to ODU together, but we didn't have any classes together. And we did a Traptastic together at Parlor. So we would just see each other out on the scene. And it was 2017 when I was back in New York, and I was just like working at Marshall's, and I was like, what is my life? Like, what am I doing? Like,
so you had stopped DJing?
Yeah, I was still DJing. I was going out, nightlife in New York, networking, meeting people. But I was just like, I'm anxious. And randomly, I remember I was on the way to this club with my cousins, and I'm sitting in the backseat kind of depressed because I'm just like, I want to DJ. I want to do more. Like, I want to make it, as like everybody else. And randomly, Masego just sends me a voice note. He's like, hey, I have this idea, and I want to run it by you. Like, what do you think of this? And I'm going on tour, and I want you a part of it. And just like, what are your thoughts? Like, and I'm like, what? So I'm instantly like, oh my gosh, my life is about to change. He's already connected with, I think it's medicine and selection people. And I wasn't really following him as much around that time. I was just kind of focused on myself. So I didn't really know what he was doing, but I didn't realize that he was paying attention to me. And he told me, like, I saw you at work release and I saw you doing your thing and I love your energy type thing. Like, do you want to come on this tour with me? So we were kind of preparing. The tour didn't kick off for like months, maybe almost a year later, but we were doing little things. Like, I was working with him in LA, and we were doing like smaller stuff. Like, we did not smaller stuff, but we did this campaign with 1800 Tequila, and I was kind of like his DJ in the background while he built a beat from scratch. So that was pretty cool. But once we got on tour, it was just a leap of faith that I kind of took. I was still living with my parents at the time in Hampton, and I didn't have any bills or responsibilities, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for it.
Before you had a kid.
Yeah, before I had a kid, I was a nomad.
Would you have to say no now? Since you're like, now
Would I
that
say
like
no?
to that, like, so you have a kid now, would that have changed it? Like, would you have not gone?
I think I would still go. I would try to find a way to make it work. Like, even bring her on tour with me and hire a nanny or something. Like, I still have dreams of that because it was such a great experience. Like, overall, obviously, like, it wasn't the most comfortable, like, being on a tour bus. You're, like, driving all hours of the night. You're sleeping in bunk beds, and you got this little bathroom, and it's not the most comfortable, but the fact that I was on the road with friends that I just made who were all artists, we all just vibe really well together, and we're getting paid to like make music and just perform, like do what we love, was just so exhilarating to me. And
that's
even
like,
though I was tired,
that's like the most like entrenched you can get into your passions. Like you're literally
like, I
living,
was like,
breathing, and
holy
sleeping
shit.
it.
I'm living my dream, even though I'm not getting paid millions or billions or like even as much as they were getting paid. It was just like an introduction for me and for them too, like Masego and GoldLink, because that was his first headlining tour. So it was like a lot of beginnings for all of us, and we just all brought something different, and the people loved it. Like I brought my Caribbean ratchetness and dance, like everything, like mixed together. Masego brought his soulfulness, and I'm, even though I was his DJ and I knew every song that was coming, I would still watch him like, wow, like you're amazing. Like you could feel the energy, and even he could feel my energy if I was nervous, if I messed up something. He's like, yo, chill out. Like, relax, it's okay. Because he's the type, he's like a mad scientist. 5 minutes later, before we're about to perform, like in Montreal or something, I think that, it was one of those gigs. He airdropped me like a different edit, a different version to the song. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why are you stressing me out like this? So I ended up playing the wrong version, and we had to just rock with it. But it's like things like that happen, like you get better and better and better. So like by the middle to the end of the tour, we were flawless. Like we executed the show perfectly. And then GoldLink brought his like DC, vibe to it. So it was, everybody got a little bit of everything, and they really enjoyed like our show. And even though I was tired, like I put out a lot of energy on stage. We all do. Once I got back on the next stage, the next day in the new city, and the bass just hit, that's when I was like, okay, I'm up. I'm alive.
The energy is back.
Like, I'm okay.
How many days did you guys do?
It was maybe like a month. They did a few more stops. They did like Texas and Louisiana, but I wasn't on that stop. I like went back home. I forgot what happened, but they only needed me like for the other dates. And then, like we touched almost like every city in the U.S. almost. Like the main cities. It was amazing.
Yeah, I know doing like being a tour DJ is like a lot different than just like DJing clubs and stuff. It
is, yeah.
Clockwork was telling me a bunch about that, like about the different DJs, like what comes with it. Like you have to mesh well with the performer. It's not like you're just up there playing music. Like you have to bounce back, like your energy bounces with them. And you figure out your performance.
Yeah.
Last question I really have is what's your upcoming shows? I know you have the festival or the carnival. That's like March 28th. You had a busy February.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Pull up her February schedule actually, because I sent you that.
That was the most
lit
month I've probably ever had.
You had like 8 or 9 bookings in February.
Yeah, last weekend I actually had more because I DJ'd with my church. Like the Friday, I had like a gig the Friday at Beach House.
Yeah, right there. That's it. I know the only you one didn't happen because of the snow.
Yeah, so
we get a few inches of snow, everybody goes crazy in 757. We had like 200 accidents that day, I think.
215. So 2 So last weekend, so Valentine's Day at Beach House with Creme de la Creme, and Marnie came through, the Cash Cobain Marnie. That was dope. I did that, and then the next morning, I had to be in my church at 9 a.m. to DJ for them. 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then I did...
That's a long-ass
Hunt
set.
Room,
9 to 4?
9:30 p.m., to 1:30 a.m. and then had to be back at church for their gig 8:30 a.m. till 1:30 p.m. And then I wasn't even done. I had Beach House again after we gave Reggae Gold 2 to 6 p.m. And then the Guava one got canceled. They was like, you don't have to come through. We got Chef Dro. So like, we'll save you for next time. I was like, okay, bet. Like, I'm going to just chill. I'm going to just hang out at Beach House and just have a little drink. Being at church
from 9 to 4 is wild though.
Is
that like multiple services?
It was 2 services. Well, no, that was a particular event. They had a particular event that was called Revive Us, which was pretty cool because it was like outside of the everyday church stuff. And they were talking about, they're a pretty progressive church, CRC, but they were talking about like taboo stuff, like relationships and sex and like just like everyday advice that they can give people, single people, married people. So they had Revive Us, and then they had a segment for Revive Her and then Revive Him. which was really cool. So I'm playing background music for them, and then in the moments where we're transitioning, then I'm like DJing. So I was just playing instrumentals, and the pastor, like Pastor David and Pastor Lydia, they're like 40. They're young, and they grew up during the time of like 90s hip hop and R&B. So they love a lot of that Tribe Called Quest, Sade, and like even SZA. So I'm playing that type of stuff as instrumentals in church. And I feel like it works because it's like they want to show people that we're all human. We all listen to this stuff, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's not like I was playing like Sexy Red, and it's like, you know, even just...
That's what I want to hear in church.
But it's like, it's okay.
S-E-A-X-Y, what'd you say? There was a church that went viral out here like a couple weeks ago. You saw that?
They played that?
No, did you see that? It was basically a church out here. I forgot what city it was in, but basically the pastor had this one girl go to the front in front of the congregation and like confess her sins about getting pregnant. Yeah. And like it went viral because everybody was like, why y'all making that girl do that, this, that?
What was she doing?
I think she just got pregnant like before marriage. So like he made her go tell everybody like at the church, and like he made her go to the front of the church and like try to embarrass her or something.
Yeah.
I forgot exactly what it was, but it was something like that. It was going viral on
That's
Facebook.
That's messed up.
And I think the girl might be suing now or something.
Yeah, no, that's why they said no cameras.
But it's always funny because like we'll have these like mini viral moments that happen in the city, but it's always like the stupidest thing. Like, is that it right there?
I went viral. I don't even want to talk about
this is it right here.
Oh, you got it.
Where's she at though?
They look real strict too.
Now let me read what it says. Go to the right. A Virginia pastor made a teenage girl stand up before the congregation to apologize for being pregnant. I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm going to let y'all have it. But I'll just say this. The only person who should be ashamed in this scenario is the pastor. I hope that she finds a new church home. But I don't know if she was like a grown woman or she's like a minor.
She looks really young. Like she looks like, it said teenager.
Did it say teenager?
Girl.
Okay, yeah,
she
teenage
looks
girl.
like she's like 15. She don't need y'all to forgive her. God will forgive her. What?
At least like she got some support with the applauses, but it's like, why would you make her do that?
That's so embarrassing. Oh my gosh. I remember when my mom found out I was pregnant.
Really kind of the final thought I really wanted to say is I resonate with what you said earlier about just being sustainable and like being in the right mental space for this.
Yeah.
A lot of people like forget about that. Like they assume they focus on like the outside world. But I think if you could put all your emphasis on that, but you could forget about like the interior, like the inside world, and like really being in the right space mentally and making sure your intentions are right, like being healthy and like just being a good person.
Taking care of yourself. I'm like eating healthy all week, and on the weekends I'm drinking, but I balance it. You know, I'm not just going hard, and that's just my lifestyle. I feel like when I met that mentor who taught me how to like reconstruct my whole library, it was symbolic of me needing to like not just focus on the external world, like how I looked, how my hair was, how I was jumping around, the energy I brought.
But how you feel?
I had to focus on my inner world and like when you're off camera. But I got so addicted to being on, not even camera, but like being on stage. It was so exhilarating that when I came off stage, it was just like, there was no applause, there was no energy, there was no other people, it was just you. And at that time I didn't know who I was. You know, I was just like going through a lot of different changes. I was in my early 20s. So balancing that internal world and external world is very, very important, and just, you know, knowing where you're headed. Where you want to be. Do you want to be a creative? Do you want to be a creative entrepreneur? Like even for me now, do I want to be like Dodie and have an actual venue? Like be a creative entrepreneur in that aspect.
He's the owner of Only You, right?
Yeah. And he was a DJ. He did weddings too. He was on the scene curating his own parties, like Baila, like huge, crazy, Fantastic Planet was like crazy parties. And he that was another thing. That same year, he had Fan Plan in Halloween. It was a Halloween party. Booked Lakim and Vashti to DJ. So it was big. It was like, whoa, we're DJing at the Norva. Like it was just an epic year. The whole year was epic. And not only was it the GOAT year, but I'm also a GOAT. Like I was born in '91, so I feel like GOATs like me, Dot, we're super creative, and that was just like our golden year. So I can't wait till another year like that comes back around.
JoFroxi.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. This was really cool. I feel like we talked about a lot of cool stuff. Where can people find you? Like, what's your next show as far as like
Next
from today?
show, dang, I'd have to look at my calendar. You
dropping
can
that
see
March schedule soon?
March, yes, I am.
Okay.
Next show, actually, Only You. I'll be at Only You next Thursday, the 27th. It got postponed. And then I got a couple gigs in March. So if you go to my website, JoFroxi.com, you'll already see the events already logged into the calendar. But Instagram, JoFroxi, Twitter, JoFroxi. On Instagram, you can also go into my channel. That's where I'll give people like a sneak peek of what's coming up, events with Froxy, and I'll lay everything out there. So.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you again. Very insightful episode.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you guys are watching this, we appreciate you for tuning in. All of JoFroxi's links will be in the description. Yeah. I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you so much.
Come on.